after what happened in the previous video, then I will leave the link to that video up here. Lin Huan together with Miss Ning go to the mountain following the tracks of the horses to be able to find the camp. After a while of walking, they are guided to a cliff where they manage to see it. There, with the ingenuity of Lin Huan, they manage to create a homemade telescope based on bamboo and glass. With the help of this, they manage to see the men of Kang Zion and decide to put together a plan, which was to make a surprise attack, but first they must manage to infiltrate. They go down the mountain towards the camp, and when they are a few centimeters from the entrance, she sneaks up on some soldiers and hits them from behind, killing 2 of them and stealing their clothes. Lin Huan tries to enter pretending to be a soldier carrying a prisoner, but they do not recognize his face, so they demand him to give the secret signal to let him pass. Seeing himself cornered, he pretends to be offended, but since his attitude is not enough to mislead them, he cuts a finger from his hand, showing that he is not an outsider and is willing to cut his whole body as a sign of loyalty. Before this, all those who were there react amazed and let him pass, thinking that he is from the upper part of the mountain because of his behavior. Once inside, he reveals to Miss Ning that it was a fake finger made of porcelain and tells her to wait for him where he is, because once he achieves his goal, he will give her a signal so that she can go into action. A few minutes later, one of the huts suddenly explodes. She realizes that this was the signal, but she did not imagine that it would be so scandalous and striking. Before the explosion, when Lin Huan separates from Miss Ning, he sneaks towards one of the huts, but he is spotted by a couple of guards who do not hesitate to attack him, but just before they can reach him, he throws an explosive and destroys the structure. They try to attack him again, but before this, he reveals to have more explosives, scaring the guards, who decide to flee for their safety. Lin Huan in a quick move ties the explosives to the leader, preventing him from escaping. He makes him see that he is there to negotiate, so he only needs his cooperation. He informs him that he has Kang Zion's people infiltrated the camp, so if they do not cooperate, he will take the decision to kill the leader. In a desperate attempt, the leader manages to quickly locate the traitor. Since he knows the faces of all his men, they manage to capture the infiltrator and begin to interrogate him. He reveals that he belongs to the audit department. Suddenly, the interrogation is stopped because they realize that in their direction a group of soldiers belonging to the audit department are heading. Lin Huan, in view of the situation, activates the mines that he left all over the road he traveled, managing to kill all the soldiers who were approaching. Seeing this, the leader decides to collaborate with Lin Huan since he has helped them, so he agrees to give them the letters he has from Kang Zion. At that moment, Miss Ning appears with a letter in her hands, so he decides to leave. It has become night, and the soldiers decide to go in search of Ning Bohu for an interrogation to prove his innocence or guilt. However, the guards are hit by a few arrows in order to kill them and release Ning Bohu. One of the guards stands up as he had armor under his clothes which protected him from all the arrows. He turns out to be Lin Huan, who had predicted what would happen and decided to go to protect him. He is discovered by Kang Zion, who intends to arrest him, but Lin Huan has a beam up his sleeve, so he gives Kang Zion copies of his letters informing the bandits of the mountain. He is cornered and can do nothing to stop Lin Huan, so he lets him go with Ning Bohu. The next day after Ning Bohu's release, Lin Huan and Miss Ning decide to organize a welcome party, and while celebrating, Kang Zion's cousin Su Kai arrives with a request for Lin Huan. Everyone thinks she is going to ask for mercy for her cousin Kang Zion, but it is the opposite. She asks to kill him because he is responsible for her father's suicide. Lin Huan does not know how to react, so he asks for an explanation, so she decides to tell him the situation. A few minutes ago, Kang Zion showed her uncle a letter on paper which asked him to confess his sin to him, or else he would break his store and send his daughter in a curious place. This situation put him between a rock and a hard place, and seeing that he had no other choice, he decided to end his life. Su Kai went to her father's room, but when she entered, she found him dead, so she cried inconsolably and quickly went to ask the guards who was the last one to see her father, and when she found out that it was Kang Zion, she decided to go to Lin Huan to take revenge. Lin Huan, surprised, cannot believe that Kang Zion has gone so far this time and decides to go and kill him, but not before gathering information, so he decides to call the best informant in town. The informant knows that all information concerning Kang Zion, so she brought just what Lin Huan wants to know. However, she has to pay a price. He who knows the situation offers to pay her with more than money. He says that if she collaborates with him, he will let her have access to more information, not only of Kang Zion, but of anyone she wants. She, seeing the generous offer, cannot refuse, so she accepts quickly and gives Lin Huan a paper where are the secrets of his family, and more importantly, information about the father of Kang Zion called Kang Hui. That letter tells that 20 years ago Kang Zion's father was a soldier in charge of protecting the city gate and also in charge of the traffic. However, one day he left the gate without warning to do something very important, but that day, just when he was not there, a caravan came out of the gate. However, one of these men was casually saved by Kang Hui, who was on his way back to his post. Before this man offered him all his support because he saved his life. It turns out that Kang Hui maintained contact with the enemy country, and these contacts plus the support of that millionaire man made him become an extremely powerful man and thus get to where they are today. Both Kang Hui and Kang Zion often go to Dongfang Minju's tea house, so Lin Hyun and Kai Su decide to change their appearance and go to the place in search of information, and when they arrive at the place they discover that it was a very luxurious casino to which few could have access, so they bribe the guards to infiltrate. Once in the casino, they decide to look for information betting and camouflaging themselves among the people. Once they start betting, Lin Hyun begins to lose a lot of money, but does not worry about it because he knows he is able to take care of the doubt and faces the person in charge of the game. Once he is distracted, he begins to win a lot of money using a few tricks, and seeing that everyone begins to suspect, decides to play dumb, saying that maybe it's his luck. The manager, who is not willing to lose so much money, tells him that if he keeps betting, he will eventually win so much money that he will become a millionaire. He does it thinking that Lin Hyun is stupid and will spend all his money, so he offers him to keep playing. However, before starting the new round of the game, Lin Hyun marks the ball with invisible paint and uses special glasses to distinguish it from the others. For this, being sure of winning, he decides to bet all the money he has won, which is a large amount of money. The manager cheats in order to make him lose, but is discovered by Lin Hyun, who exposes him to all the people present. He tries to defend himself and decides to blame Lin Hyun, but he is not willing to allow such acts, so he takes him by the arms to count his hands for cheating. But just when his sword was about to fall, the casino manager arrives to stop what happened, and Lin Hyun takes the opportunity to ask him to have a talk about important matters in a more private place. Before they can leave the place, they are ambushed by a group of guards because the manager, before arriving, called a large group of armed men who are his bodyguards. Seeing this, Lin Hyun realizes that there really is important information there and is willing to exhaust all his resources to find it. When they are already cornered, he offers them a proposal in exchange for information. He gives them a way for the casino to expand safely without any inconvenience. When explaining his proposal, the boss is surprised and decides to accept it, but Lin Hyun demands the casino accounts before closing the deal, all this in order to know if this casino is profitable. When he sees the accounts, he manages to get the information he needs and much more than he needs, so he deceives the others, saying that this casino has a good economy and therefore it is a good option to close the deal. Then he leaves and explains to Kai Su that the casino pays a large amount of money monthly to a place called Ling Long Fang, and he bets everything he has that this place has all the key information they need to stop the Kang family. However, in the trees of that place there was a hidden person named Ling Gi, who upon hearing the conversation realizes that this information was stolen and goes to report it quickly. Lin Hyun and Kai Su go to Ling Long Fang, and when they arrive they go to spy through a window and learn that this place is set up to train young girls and prepare them to work in a brothel. When they realize this, Lin Hyun suspects that everything is a trap. Suddenly he hears a strange noise behind him and realizes that it is an ambush, so when he sees that they are attacked by arrows, he tries to save Kai Su by pushing her. However, he is not fast enough and one of the arrows hits Kai Su, who is poisoned. In desperation, he quickly enters the brothel and creates an antidote. He decides to go in search of the attacker, so he leaves Kai Su in charge of the brothel girls and goes in search of him. Lin Hyun throws a smoke bomb, and once outside the brothel, he tells his attackers to come out and fight, who show up and prepare to fight. Lin Hyun, who only provoked them to come out, flees while his pursuers go after him until they reach a dead end. However, Lin Hyun drops a rope from one of the buildings. He ties it around his waist and begins to climb the high walls of the place as if he were floating, to the astonishment of his pursuers. It turns out that he was being helped by his soldiers from the beginning. The pursuers, who are not willing to lose track of him, were prepared and threw a rope with a hook and managed to fit it into a wall, and so begins to climb. When they climb and reach the top of the wall, they have no choice but to jump to the other side, so they decide to jump. When they fall, they realize that all this was a trap because the ground is full of sharp glass, and end up very badly withdraw. In this situation, they realize that Lin Hyun was a company, so they decide to retire. Lin Hyun goes to talk to Kang Hui and tells him that it is necessary to do something about the assassins. He says that first of all they must investigate before acting. Lin Hyun reproaches him because if they continue to wait, at some point they will die at their hands, and asks him if he wants to die. Kang Hui takes this as a threat and tells Lin Hyun that he will catch him. He is amazed at this, and if that is the case then he must die, and takes out a mystery paper. Lin Huan, who knows that the easiest way to please the royal family is with gifts, and knows that the gift that was made to the Empress Dowager had an exclusive name called the birthday list Kang Xian, and Kang Hui, seeing that this paper was the list, asks Lin Huan to show it. He refuses, but shows how he has proof that the list is real because it has the remains of one of the gifts of the Empress Dowager. He comes to the conclusion that the spies of the Yu Kingdom are not considered the king's people because they destroyed a gift to the Empress. To this, Kang Hui repeats that it is better to wait before acting because it is better to have a good base of information. Lin Huan gets tired of this and decides that he himself will investigate on his own because he is tired of how unproductive the Kang family is, and tells them that he will send to demand their execution. Worried about this threat, Kang Xian and Kang Hui order to investigate the situation, but they worry that the link between the enemy kingdom and the Kang family will be discovered. Lion Huan leads the investigation army into the casino. This upsets Kang Xian as he discovered the location of the casino despite it being extremely protected and hidden by him, to the point of thinking of getting rid of it. However, he realizes that Lion Huan is not sure, so he wants to see what happens. Lion Huan invites everyone to see how they unmask a spy of the Yui Kingdom, informs everyone in the audience that the spies are all in the casino. Kang Xian says that before entering the casino should be properly investigated. Lion Huan takes the opportunity and tells the others that if he is the traitor, that if that is the case it is a disappointment for his father Kang Hui, who has always served that country. Kang Xian, seeing how everyone was falling on him, sent to investigate. Knowing that the casino is his, he knows which places to look for and which not to look for, so he believes he is one step ahead of Lion Huan. But Lion Huan tells everyone there to take advantage of the chaos to put a helmet on Kang Xian and say that he is the infiltrator. Everyone rushes against him. With Kang Xian distracted, Lion Huan takes the opportunity to take care of the real infiltrator and goes to the tree where he was hiding. After this, the hidden man flees, but Lion Huan lets him go to see where the spy lair is. This man flees, and while he does so he realizes that he is being followed, so he decides to take refuge in a store. However, when he asks for water it turns out to be poison. This is because Lion Huan paid all the stores around so that when someone suspicious arrived they would give him poisoned water. He faints, and when he wakes up he is with Lion Huan and another man. They talk about how it will be difficult to talk, but Lion Huan has something in mind to make him talk. When he is cornered, he tries to bite a poison pill that he keeps between his teeth. However, they had already taken this pill so he cannot commit suicide. To make him talk, they try to torture him, but Lion Huan uses some objects and improvises a lie detector. He begins to ask questions like if he belongs to the country Yu, if he works for the Kang, and where is his lair. Thanks to these questions, they discover that his lair is in the north. The guards and the man present there asks Kang Xian what kind of magic he used. He answers that it is not magic, he simply asks, and according to how fast his heart beats he knows if he is nervous or calm, and therefore knows if his questions have a negative or positive answer. However, the boy who is being interrogated says no matter what he will not say more, and proceeds to accelerate the beating of his heart as a martial arts technique. Lion Huan knows that this will not work and tells him that there is another way to get information and asks him where he is in the north. He tells him that he does not intend to talk more. Lion Huan takes a map and moves his finger across it and thus finds the location, as he was guided by the body language of the subject. With this he decides to go to the palace and informs Ming and Su Kai that he knows where the spies are hiding and that they can defeat them at any time. Lion Huan goes to see Ling Jai with a guard to ask Ling Jai why she betrayed him. She tries to divert his attention and seduce him. However, this has no effect and he keeps asking and tells her that upon analysis he realized that the matter of being framed has to do with her. But he knows that if she was a traitor and worked for the Yu Kingdom she would have already gone. So she is a double agent selling information for her own convenience and having her own plans. Before this, Lion Huan tells him that they can make a deal. He will let her free and alive if she gets information about the Kang's treason. Lion Huan talks with Kai Su and Ning about what will be the next step regarding the spy lair in the north, because despite knowing where it is, they have no evidence to link them with the Kang family and much less with the Yu Kingdom. However, Lion Huan tells them that he is already working on it and that they should give him a few days. Days later, Kai Su is in a restaurant and sees how people talk about Kang Hui came to power collaborating with the king of the Yu Kingdom and that he was a traitor. This information is distributed by some posters with all the information. And although surprised, people see how it is extremely specific, not to mention that this information is approved by Lion Huan, so they doubt that it is false. Seeing this, Kai Su asks them where they got that poster and people replied that they are outside. All over the kingdom are posters, but Kang Xian along with his soldiers say that anyone who speaks will be severely punished and that this is nothing more than a slander, and that now Lion Huan has an arrest warrant. However, a soldier arrives and informs Kang Xian that very early before the information became public, he left the city and left a letter informing him of this and mocking Kang Xian. Seeing this, Kang Xian is upset, and Kai Su looks at him from a distance, happy that at this rate Kang Xian will die soon. We see that Ning went to a lair of Yu Kingdom spies, who were posing as a hotel, but Ning quickly tells them to stop pretending she knows they are spies and pay with her life for this. One of the spies tries to attack her, but an arrow hits her. It turns out that Ning did not come alone. However, this was not the important thing, but that the arrow had poisonous gas, and upon impact the poison begins to spread and they enter into despair. The survivors are taken to a prison where they meet the Ling Jai, who is also in prison. They are upset and amazed that she is imprisoned because it was supposed to be their information center. The soldier curses the Kang family and says that he will escape and inform the Yu Kingdom of the Kang's treason. A guard arrives and tries to free the informant, but she steals the guard's keys and gives them to the other prisoner, and then steals the guard's sword and pierces himself with it. Seeing this scene, the guard is confused, but the prisoner frees himself and kills the guard and promises to take revenge on the Kang, and so he flees with the others. And from the shadows comes out hooded Lion Huan, telling Ling Jai that this performance was impressive. Lion Huan helps to lift Ling Jai, who falls on him and kisses him, tells him that they should do something more exciting together, and hints to spend a night together. However, before he answers, Ling Jai tells him to get up. He wants to see how miserable the Kang family will end up. In the night, we see the spies of the Yu Kingdom attack the mansion of the Kang family. A few ropes tie the neck of the guards and make them die hanging, and thus infiltrate and kill all the residents of the Kang mansion. However, not finding Kang Xian and Kang Hui and thinking that they escaped, they decide to look for the box where the receipts of the money that the Kang family received were hidden. This in order not to be discovered. If the kingdom found out that they collaborated with the Kang family, the Yu Kingdom could be in danger. To obtain the box with the receipts, Ming arrives with an army because they plan to recover the house of the Kang family. Seeing this, the spies flee. And when they think they are safe, they are betrayed by one of the spies, who reveals that he is not from the Yu Kingdom and is in fact a worker of Lion Huan. But before the surviving spies decide to attack him, Lion's personal army arrives to their rescue and kill the rest of the spies. The spies are eliminated, and Lion Huan's worker is surprised at how easy it was to infiltrate. He explains that the spies of the Yu Kingdom do not know each other because they are part of a secret network and therefore do not know their identity, and it is easy to infiltrate. The soldier of Lion Huan is surprised and asks him when they will take care of the Kang, and Lion Huan replies that the matter is ready. In that, we see the Kang flee out of the city because they do not understand why the Yu Kingdom suddenly attacked them, and with the people against them they do nothing but run dangerously, so they fled to a mountain. There they meet some farmers and try to use their status to treat them in a special way. However, Lion Huan took care of putting a reward for both, so when they see them they attack and capture them. On the other hand, we see Lion Huan talk to a Ning Bohu, which is thanks for everything he has done for him, and gives him a scroll which has an impressive amount of information. We are told the past of the Ming family, and we are told that they had an ancestor who led the kingdom Xia. This was called Ning Zixi. However, this hero is frowned upon by the capital because their offspring was dictator, and therefore to learn everything that has happened to the kingdom probably try to kill the Ming family. However, Lion Huan infiltrate the capital, make merit tests, and talk to the court of the capital and explain what happened between this Ning and Lion Huan must separate. They say goodbye. Lion leaves without the army, alone with his most trusted soldier, and while they are on their way, he reproaches him for not looking for the army because they could be attacked, and so it happens because some criminals see his appearance and try to kidnap him. Lin Huan regrets since so many things he knows, and she comes to ask him about economics. He now asks her for her name. The girl introduces herself as Liu Lai while holding a glass that is perched on the table. He makes a compliment to her name, and just at that moment she breaks the glass she has in her hands. She in turn says that she is very strong, so Lin Huan is a little terrified. Liu Lai notices that he is giving many turns to the question he asked him, so he threatens him if he does not answer the question quickly. Lin Huan now begins to explain the reasons why the crisis is due. Among them, he mentions the humidity of the area, the location, the people who do not know about agriculture. Listening to his correct answers, Liu Lai gets excited and says that it makes sense. She approaches him and with pleading eyes asks him how to fix it. He answers that there are 3 ways to do it. He mentions the first one is the method of time. Secondly, he mentions that a road has to be made to improve its location. And finally, to create a law to guide people on how to plant and care for livestock. She is filled with enthusiasm when she hears him, so she wants to do it immediately. and takes him away, threatening him again. When they go outside, the workers start to mock them, both insinuating that they were doing other things. Liu Lai gets upset and climbs on top of one of the men who is talking and threatens to cut off his ear. She then rushes Lin Huan to show him how to do what she explained, calling him a forger because she still doesn't believe he is the real Lin Huan. The incredulous villagers don't believe it's possible because they have been trying for a long time without succeeding. To begin with, Lin Huan gives them the recipe for the cement to make the road. They believe that when they wet the mixture, it will only be a useless mud, but Lin Huan tells them to wait for the result and begins to mix the cement with water. The others begin to mock him, but in the end he raises a wall and challenges the others to collapse the mud, as they called it. The first man tries with his body, but he only faints. Then Liu Lai tries, but with his sword, and she succeeds in collapsing the wall. The people flatter the girl for her strength, while Lin Huan holds with trembling hands one of the bricks. The girl recognizes that this mixture is quite powerful because she needed to use 80% of her strength, and also opened a hole in her sword. So she orders to follow the orders of him who calls liar. Lin Huan complains about lack of time and energy, but the girl threatens him with her sword, and he changes his mindset that now he has plenty of time and energy, so they start to do all those things together. After a week, the village already has another aspect. So Liu Lai decides to overlook that he is a fake and informs her that she intends to make him her husband very soon. Lin Huan approaches her, and before anything happens, Akai arrives, interposing between them and thus interrupting these two. Akai pretends not to hear, and while the army tries to enter the village, he starts to tell the girl that how dare she stop him since he is the son-in-law of the Ning house. The frightened girl admits that he was the real Lin Huan and that he had not lied to her before. Akai and he leave the place talking. And when they arrive at the army that is confronting the villagers, he calms them down by saying that they are all on the same side. Suddenly, a man on horseback arrives, bringing a message, so Lin Huan and Liu Lai receive it on behalf of the head of the fortress. The messenger man gives him a scroll, and when they open it, they realize what is inside. And seeing so many people, he says that there is only one thing they can do, and that is to steal the list of birthdays of the empress, who is a widow. The people hear that and start to complain because they think it is a very bad idea. But Liu Lai admits that it is something easy and orders them to do what he says. And this time he calls Lin Huan husband. The others are left doubting what she said, but Lin Huan then explains to them and encourages them not to be afraid by drawing his sword. A week later, in the Black Bear Mountain, 4 men are in the middle of a bonfire talking about Liu Lai and the luck that Lin Huan has. In that, sounding a cymbal, they announce the arrival of Liu Lai. She gets off the carriage wearing an attractive red dress, which leaves the men who are near drooling. Seeing their looks, she threatens to kill them all, in that she tenderly helps Lin Huan down, calling him husband. They begin to walk, but he gets nauseous, so the others begin to make fun of him for it. In that, one of the men claims to the girl for having called him husband, asking for an explanation. She gets angry, but Lin Huan calms her, telling her that everything is fine, and that this man jumps and begins to attack Lin Huan, for which he tells her with a smile not to cry if he loses. Hearing Lin Huan, the other people begin to mock him, telling him that he thinks he is a big deal and no one would be scared to fight him. The man stands in front of him and threatens to cut out his heart. Lin Huan tells him to pass, so he is distracted, and he takes advantage and gives him a tremendous kick in the middle of the leg. Lin Huan begins to make fun of him, saying that it is very easy to fight. Liu Lai is fascinated to see what her husband did, and putting both hands on her chin, she mentions that she fell in love even more. The people are impressed to see how fast that was, but they start to complain, saying that it was just a trap, since sneak attacks are not valid. They get very angry, so one of them decides to confront him, standing in front of him. Lin Huan tells him what happens. He doesn't fall and kicks him, telling him to do to the others what he would like them to do to him. But Lin Huan takes his leg and, telling him to test his elasticity, gives him a pull that causes him a deep pain in the crotch. Lin Huan offers the same to the other men who are watching, encouraging them to attack him, but they are terrified and refuse to even attack. In that moment, someone enters, giving applause. This man, who has a big scar on his face, praises the technique used by Lin Huan, mentioning that in all the time he has been training martial arts, he had not seen anything like that feat he just did. He introduces himself to Lin Huan, and Lin Huan also introduces himself to him as the chief of the Lin Huan fortress, while hugging Liu Lai by the waist. Seeing all this, Lin Huan offers him to fight together and also orders to prepare 10 silver talatas for each of them while holding his waist. 2 bald men who are nearby begin to say that they are joining since they are given to fight as a team and even more for money. So Lin Huan sends everyone in the village to gather while moving back and forth a kind of fan he has in his hand. The man with the scar on his face stands in front of him and they begin to have eye contact. At that time, a tone starts to sound while Lin Huan is dictating some formations for the people. And we'll see what happens in the next video. Hit the like button and subscribe if you like it, and if you want the next part, write in the comments the word Supreme 2. Thanks for watching.